we've got parking issues citywide. So as a city, to help deter that and help our enforcement officers, that fine increased to $100. There's a maximum of $200 that we could have gone. We chose a happy medium where it's going to hurt a little bit if you're going to park illegally, but don't park illegally.
Welcome to Herrimanology,
the official podcast to keep up with Herriman City.
We'll take you inside the city, explore the latest news and updates, show you how your government operates, and discuss the issues that affect us all. Now, here are your hosts talking all things Herriman on Herrimanology.
All right, welcome to Herrimanology. It is Thursday, March 14th, and we are emerging from winter number 3 that follows
Is that all?
fake
Just
spring
third?
number 2. Yeah. I'm John LaFollette, Communications Manager for Herriman City, alongside today Councilmember Teddy Hodges from District 2. How are you doing?
Wonderful. It's a beautiful spring day out there for sure.
The sun's out at least.
Yeah, the snow's melting away.
So we'll talk about last night's City Council meeting. There were several voting actions there that we'll touch on. We have no dumb questions for this week that deals with water, and we have a couple new business ribbon cuttings. Let's touch on those first.
Yeah.
One we mentioned in about one sentence last week. Aspire Surgical opened over on the north end of town, kind of by Copper Mountain Middle School.
Beautiful, beautiful facility. They have a full-time on-staff surgical doctor, practiced multiple years for facial reconstruction. They do implants, wisdom teeth. We're not just talking your normal wisdom teeth, not your normal, they don't do root canals, they don't do normal procedures for dental or oral work, but they do the high-level cleft palates, surgical baseball to the face sort of thing, reconstruction, those kind of implants that you need. So when you need their help, you need their help. They have several doctors throughout the valley. I think this is their 9th clinic in the valley, but they're on call at every major hospital for any accident or reconstruction needed. They've got some really high class facilities there and medical staff. So it's a pretty cool facility. So.
And we had another one, I think a couple of weeks ago now, for Kitty Academy.
Yeah.
So that's also on the north end of town. That one's closer to Winco, just off Main Street, between Main Street and Mountain View Corridor. What is Kitty Academy all about?
Yeah, Kitty Academy is a great facility where it's not just daycare. It's they get cooked meals. It's under 24/7 watch. You can log in and actually see your child on camera where they're supposed to be, the play, the activity, the learning. It's not just sit them in front of a screen or play with them lightly. It's structured daycare and structured child care, more like. They've got full-time employees that are with your child at all 24/7. It's awesome. It's
really
pretty cool, yeah.
And with the learning curriculum based on age, too.
Correct, yeah. And it's not like, it's just not your ABCs. It's a full curriculum, yeah. It's like a school before school, basically. And so if you're in need or you want to check it out, they do tours all the time, and so it's a great place.
Let's go to the City Council meeting, just hitting a few of the voting action. So first, let's touch on Mountain Ridge High School.
Yeah, so the high schools, Mountain Ridge High School has always had a slight issue with the getting in and out of traffic. It's kind of hokey on the intersection layout and the street layout. So it's been a collaboration of several people between us, UDOT, and the county and the school to figure out how and what best way to get these kids in and out. And it's going to cost a little bit of money to reconstruct that north entrance. And they're going to line that up with a 4-way intersection. We're going to get rid of a hawk signal, but repurpose it to a new 4-way traffic stoplight. So there'll be a full stop entrance and exit. That'll mitigate a lot of those traffic accidents, a lot of the congestion, and actually get traffic to flow quite a bit better for that. But it did take some collaboration.
Midas Creek Trail exists already, at least portions of it, from Mountain View Corridor-ish and into the Copper Creek neighborhood, all the way westward to 6,000 West. What's the new section that's going to be coming up?
So we're going to be pushing it farther west. It was in the original MDA in agreement with the development and community, but this is back in 2017, 2018 when it was originated, and the costs have changed a little bit. But to our benefit, we actually have some cost savings on the city side. We're able to save some of those park trail impact fees that we collect from that area, and be able to put it into other amenities in that area. But it's going to continue that trail farther west, and it's one of our major trails in the city that connects everything. And if you haven't walked Midas Creek Trail, it's a wonderful trail. It goes in and out of neighborhoods, up and down ravines, through that canal, has parks, different little pocket parks throughout the way. It's a very good easy scooter, bike, trail park. It's all really nice.
The parking fine for the city increased. And last time you heard, we talked about Black Ridge Reservoir, and this was one of the elements the city council discussed to help solve the issues that are at Black Ridge Reservoir. The council didn't feel like the current $25 illegal parking fine was really deterring anybody. Yeah. So then this new parking fine, or increased, I should say, is citywide, but the discussion kind of originally started with the Black Ridge thing.
Yeah, when we started looking at what we could do as a city to help encourage proper rule following and decrease improper parking, our main hyper focus point was around Black Ridge, right? And we've realized through our information that we've been gathering and through what we've seen, it's just not Black Ridge. It's through citywide. We've got parking issues throughout, and for $25, people will park where they want to park for $25. It's until they get caught or they get fined multiple times over and over again, it doesn't increase. So as a city, to help deter that and help our enforcement officers actually have a little bit more ramification for those illegal parkers throughout the city, that fine increased to $100. And I think there's a maximum, I believe, of much more than that we could have gone.
200.
200. And so I think that we chose a happy medium where it's going to hurt a little bit if you're going to park illegally, but don't park illegally. So, yeah.
And for anybody who's thinking, oh, they're just trying to boost the revenus and get more money for
we don't see any dime of that. It actually costs us money to write citations and parking tickets like that. We have our time, our vehicle, our officers, but then also our court time to prosecute and fine and do the paperwork on that. We even if we did, the parking fine would have to be 10 times that to even recoup any financial fees. So,
the firework restriction map was approved last night. So this is an annual thing, but there's some changes on this year's map too.
Yeah. So if you guys know me, I love fireworks. I love the 24th of July. I love our holidays, Independence Day. I love people that obey the laws and light them off when they're supposed to. But we always want to keep updating with this growth of the city, and for the safety of the city, we want to make sure that map's updated. And our fire guys at UFA and our liaison does an amazing job of keeping us informed. So I love how that map comes out. If there's any questions about that map, reach out to us at the city. We'll help you identify it. But basically, if you're within 200 feet of any undeveloped area, it's a no-go. But other than that, look at the map, make sure you're doing it in a safe location. We're a couple months away, but it's a great thing to keep top of your mind.
Also, a discussion about the animal code last night. Yeah. So this has been an ongoing thing. What was this item about, and what else may be coming?
So this was there's been a lot of discussion, and our main point, our main goal with this was to take an enormous ordinance and get it down to actually what mattered. A lot of the times when cities incorporate and they do these things, they have these massive things where they bring over from other cities, and we're still cleaning up a lot of that we're only 25 years old, so we're still a young city. So this is one thing that was really hard to enforce, hard to read. It didn't correlate with other things, and it double talked a lot, so we wanted to clean that up. Last night we finally got through about 99% of everything. We're all not in agreement with everything, as your government shouldn't always be in agreement, all five of us. And there's some very hard stick points about where government should be involved in your right to ownership of pets and animals, right? And so we're still in negotiation on some aspects of it, such as how many animals can you have? 2 dogs, 2 cats, 4 dogs, 3 cats, whatever that may look like. Our passcode had 3 large animals, and I believe, so you could have 4. You could have 3 dogs and a cat, or 2 dogs and 2 cats. We kept that the same as of right now as what was in our passcode, but we changed a lot of definitions and cleaned it up a lot, so it's a lot easier for read. You and I can read it, and we don't need lawyers to tell us what it says. And I think that's how ordinances should be. The normal citizen should be able to open it up, look at it. Am I compliant or not compliant? And so we did get through a lot of that. And there's going to be more to come. The major points on that was leashes, on dog leashes. I think that was one sticky point. We've got it to where it's an 8-foot leash at the maximum. Most leashes are anywhere from 4 to 6 foot. Any standard leash. We know there are some other leashes that are longer or could be longer. But guys, if leash your dogs up, walk them, make sure they're in control. That kind of thing. There's quite a bit of conversation still yet to have on the total of how many animals you can have, if it's agricultural, if it's working dogs, non-working dogs, those sort of things. So we're still in debate about that.
One more item from the city council meeting was the youth council report. So they're coming to the end of their school year here in a few months. The term goes all the way through June, I believe. But what were some of the things from their report?
Yeah, so if you guys watched City Council last night, we had even in our work session, we had a little budget session about kind of where we're at on budgetary items. And one of them was about Youth Council, right? We fund Youth Council. It's about $17,000 a year that we put towards this Youth Council. And it's a very educational thing. Mm-hmm. Also, they help out at every city event. They help out at town days. The volunteer hours alone are priceless. Yeah. And I had the opportunity last Friday night to go up to the state conference they hold, and we got to see 150, 200 kids up there, just amazing youth, representing their city and learning and gathering and communicating together. They're going to be our future leaders. They're going to be the SBO officers in the colleges. Yeah, they're going to be the future council members, future mayors of the cities. And this program does a wonderful job, and I'm so glad that we're part of it. They came and presented last night, not only about the conference they had, but about the youth culture night they had. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing to see them take pride in that diversity and be able to bring that together into some positive, amazing events. So.
For No Dumb Questions this week, we had a question from Spencer. We don't have a full answer to this yet, but I'm giving you a promise we will get you a full answer in coming weeks on our website, perhaps in the podcast as well. We were talking about the city's water rates in a recent podcast. And last week we did a podcast with our Director of Public Works, Justin Edwards, talking about our water system, the water rate study, the finance behind it, water hardness, water quality, just kind of everything water. And we've posted a water quality and hardness webpage. So that has naturally spurred a lot of conversation about water in general. Yeah. So a question from Spencer and a similar one from a couple of other people. He asked, one thing that wasn't addressed on last week's episode is whether Herriman is doing anything to remove PFAS, or PFAS as the cool water kids say it, or, quote, forever chemicals from our water supply. I'd like to see Herriman incorporate removal of PFAS from our water as part of the discussion into how we improve our water supply and fee increases associated with that. So, totally fair question. Something that may feel kind of in the weeds, but it's something that the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, is having a close eye on. As of last year, the EPA started requiring cities across the country to measure for PFAS. And that stands for, I'm going to butcher this, but
go for it.
Polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS, because government likes acronyms. So we're required to measure those in our water system. They are not regulated yet, but the EPA is going to get to a point probably within a few years where they are going to regulate it. This is part of the research. They're working with medical research people. They're working with water suppliers across the country to see what's there. They understand there are potentially harmful impacts from PFAS at elevated levels, but we can say, kind of anecdotally, we'll release the data here from a city perspective here in a few weeks, or within a couple months in the Consumer Confidence Report. But Herriman City specifically doesn't have any concerns with PFAS. Many of the substances on there came through as a non-detect, which means there's nothing.
Yeah.
And other ones that were detected are below what we think is eventually going to be the regulated levels. It's still too soon to say, but we can say we're in a pretty good spot with our water system as far as PFAS goes.
Yeah, and I know that not only our water department, but the county, the Jordan Valley Water District that we get our water from, some of it, they're testing and staying up on those state and federal regulations are mandatory, and we most of the time we're going over and above what they want us to do and how they want us to do it. So I've got full confidence in not only our water department, but where we're sourcing our water from. But that, just like I said 2-3 weeks ago, that's one of our necessities as a city government, to provide those fundamental resources. We need drinking water. We need proper drinking water. I think that with Justin and with the information that he's gathering and what we're supposed to be gathering from other districts, we're right on top of it.
Yeah. All right, that's all for today. A little bit longer episode today. There's a lot to go over. Thank you to Councilmember Hodges for joining today.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching and listening. And as always, let us know if you have any questions, and we'll include them on No Dumb Questions in future episodes on whatever platform you're listening or watching on, and we'll make sure to find it and address it. So that's all for today. Catch you next time.